I'm trying something new today. I've got my questions on my phone. Good afternoon and welcome to Book Beat. Reading books is the key to an enlightened society. You want a key light back there, right?
Just gonna borrow this.
I think we're about ready, aren't we, Jesse? Good. Book Beat is a show about books and book readers.
A very odd combination of topics.
We interview book club members. How are your books chosen? And film their discussions.
Trying to find happiness and love in her life.
We also provide tips for forming book clubs
I think you just have to find a group of interested book readers.
and books that are current that might be enjoyable to read. In a society where everything is instantaneous, we're losing that sense of depth that reading can bring that other media doesn't. My name is Sue Ellen Zagrabelny.
Well, I can't guarantee Oprah, but I can guarantee Channel 20.
Look for Book Beat Sundays at 5 p.m., repeated Monday at 1 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Channel 20. See you then.
Good afternoon, Northport. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming to our performances today. We are Story Theater. As many of you know, you have seen us before. It is our job to share with you a couple of stories today I think you're going to enjoy. The first story is Duck and Gun. Duck and Gun is a story written by Joy Howley. All right? And it is a story about people who are trying to get along, and they have a problem, and they solve the problem very, very creatively, and you will see just how they solve this problem. Before we get started on our story, I have to talk to you a little bit about the importance of being an audience. Please tell me, what is the most important thing that an audience does? Yes, miss?
Be quiet and listen.
Be quiet and listen, of course. What else does an audience do? Clap. Absolutely, if you appreciate our performance. What else might an audience do? Be respectful and respond appropriately. What do I mean when I say respond appropriately? What does that mean?
Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy? Could be. I've been pretty heavy duty, I laid on you.
Use a respectful voice.
Use respectful voices. What happens if something funny happens? How long do you laugh? Ha 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 ha. And? Right, because what happens next after you stop laughing? The story continues, right? The story continues. Why am I telling you this? Sometimes we have a problem. We are so good that kids laugh for so long that the story lasts forever.
Does that help?
Right? So, a good audience helps us to give a good performance, to listen, to watch, to respond appropriately. Excellent. Now, without further ado, Story Theater will present our first story, Duck and Gun.
Army that is going to attack this town.
I read the part of the gunner, and I'm going to fire this cannon at the enemy. Sometimes it doesn't work.
I read the part of the Prime Minister of this town that's going to be attacked. And Prime Minister is kind of like the government run the country. And this is my daughter. Hello. Quack, 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 quack. I read the part of the duck. And I think I'll build my nest right here in this hole. Oh no. There. That'll be just fine.
I read the part of a narrator. I help to tell the story when others are not speaking.
I also read the part of a narrator who helps to tell the story when the others are not speaking.
This is a story about people who were fighting each other. They had long ago forgotten just what they were fighting about, but had not been able to stop. For days, the general and his men had been marching.
Forward, march! Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4.
Now they were all around the town and ready for the war. The general called his gunner, who had been struggling with his very large cannon.
Is the cannon in place?
Yes, sir.
Is it aimed at the town?
Yes, sir.
Good. Load it. When I give the order, fire the cannon.
Very well, sir.
Never.
Sir, we can't fire that cannon
Why can't we fire it?
because we can't load it, sir.
And why can't we load it?
Sir, please. There's a duck in the cannon.
A duck? In our cannon?
It has made a nest in there, sir.
A nest? With eggs? I'll have to do something about it. I'll show that duck it can't stop an army.
The general and the gunner went out to where the cannon had been carefully aimed at the town.
You mean it's right in there? Here, ducky, 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 ducky.
We can't fire that with that duck in there. Sir, maybe we could put some food down in there. I'll bring some out.
Good idea.
Maybe if he eats a little, sir, she eats a little something, she'll come out.
Excellent idea.
The general looked into the cannon and saw two small eyes looking back at him.
Is that the duck right there? Here, ducky, 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 here, ducky, ducky, nice ducky.
But the duck didn't stir from her nest.
Come out, you stupid duck.
Quack, quack.
Sir,
The general and the gunner put bits of fresh bread down into the cannon, but still the duck would not move. The general stomped up and down.
To think that a little duck that can't even speak, that says quack, 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 can spoil all of my plans.
Then the general's gunner thought he had to do his duty and made this suggestion.
sir, I suppose that we must fire the cannon with the duck inside.
No, we can't hurt the little duck.
You're right. I must think of something to do. That's what generals are for, to think of something to do. I know. We'll borrow a cannon.
So the general picked up a white flag to show the enemy that he meant no harm and marched importantly into the town.
Take me to your prime minister.
The guards led him through the streets to the prime minister's house. The general knocked on the door, and at once it was opened by the prime minister's daughter.
Good afternoon. Do you know who I am?
Well, of course I do. I've seen your picture in the paper. Mother, the general is here to see you.
How do you do?
Well, I would do very well if there was a duck in my cannon.
A duck in your cannon?
Then the general told the prime minister about how the general could not make war on the town because of the little duck, the nest, and the eggs.
Well, I do see you can't really fire the cannon with a duck inside. What are you going to do about it?
I was wondering if we could borrow a cannon. After all, it's not fair if you have a cannon and we don't.
Well, I do agree to that, but you see, we only have one cannon.
Well, you could fire it at us, and then we could borrow it, and we could fire it at you.
What?
Oh, no, we can't let you have the cannon because it's too heavy to move.
For a while, the general looked very unhappy.
Well, looks like you'll have to put off the war for 3 weeks. By that time, the eggs will have hatched, and you'll have your cannon back.
The general shook hands with the prime minister.
That's fair enough. We'll forget about the war for 3 weeks until the ducks have hatched.
And so the general went back to tell the soldiers the wonderful plan he had worked out with the prime minister. When the general soldiers heard the news, they were quite pleased.
In fact, they were so pleased, they put bits of bread down into the cannon whenever the general wasn't looking. But after 1 week, the general had another problem. So he picked up his white flag and went to see the prime minister again.
Well, how are you today, General?
Not good. Not good at all. As a matter of fact, I'm running out of money. My men haven't done a thing for a week, and they expect me to pay them for it.
Well, that is a problem.
I was wondering, could we borrow some money from you?
No, I can't give your soldiers our money. But you see our town? It really needs painting. And in 2 weeks, your soldiers could paint our whole town.
That's fair enough. It's a wonderful idea. Thank you very much, Prime Minister.
This time the soldiers were not so pleased with the general's order. The general told them he could no longer pay them, but the prime minister agreed to pay the soldiers if they would paint the prime minister's town. Early the next morning, the general peeked once more at the duck in the cannon.
Here, ducky, ducky,
He
ducky.
just happened to have some cake in his pocket to feed the duck.
Here, ducky, nice ducky.
Some days, the general would look at the town and watch the houses change color.
I just love pink and yellow houses. Aren't they pretty?
Sometimes the general visited the prime minister and his daughter and had tea in their garden.
General, your soldiers are making our town look new again. They're so polite and hard-working.
Some days, everyone fed the duck, who was still in the cannon, sitting contentedly on her eggs.
Near the end of the 3rd week,
The eggs hatch!
The general blew his whistle as loudly as he could. The soldiers were startled, stopped their activities, and ran back to camp.
Attention! The duck's eggs have hatched. Here, ducky, 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 ducky.
One after another, the little heads popped out until the general had placed 8 ducklings on the ground. 4, 6, 8. Last out was Mother Duck.
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
3 cheers for the duck.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Now we have our cannon back. At last we can have a war.
Oh, no. Sir, we can't fire at that town. Just think what that would do to all of our fresh paint. We've worked for 2 weeks on those houses.
And they look so pretty, too.
It did seem silly to think of blowing up freshly painted houses.
Well, what do we do then?
Sir, you couldn't put off that war for good, could you, sir? Then after we finished painting the town, we could all go home. Sir, please, please.
The general thought for quite a long time.
All right, I'll go see the Prime Minister.
So that was the end of the war. The general shook hands with the prime minister. And everyone cheered. The whole town, the general, and all the soldiers had a big party and a wonderful hooray! Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. She lives in the cold and the swamp, where it's always dark and dumb. You may think that this is the end. Well, it is!
A very big problem with a very simple solution in our story. It's not like that in real life, is it? It's a little more challenging there, right? All right, our second story is a group of stories called Aesop's Fables. How many of you have ever heard of Aesop's Fables? If you have, yes. These stories are ancient. They were written by a man in Greece centuries ago. And they have been passed down in oral tradition over time. The version that we are doing is written by Mary Kay Holbring. It is you read to me, I'll read to you. We have selected a few of these fables. If you like them, I would suggest that you look for this book because it's really a neat book. Wait, they've got pictures on the inside. I'll show you. All right. You will notice that all of our work comes from written text from books. You were the perfect audience in our last story, so I hope that you can continue doing that. I would ask the people in the first row, for safety's sake, to please keep your legs tucked in, because this story takes place right here. We don't use the stands for this story. All right, are we ready? You all set? Not yet. Okay. Story Theater now presents Aesop's Fables.
We will tell you some stories of Aesop's fables. Tales where a turtle will turn the tables. We will spin you a fable of the peacock and crane. One who is ugly and the other who is vain. we will tell you a story of the boy who cried wolf and why this kid was rather a goof. Tales with lions and tales with mice. Tales where ants give good advice. Tales of a nasty old wind and a warm summer sun. Each story is a lesson, and boy, are they fun. So, let's get started with the tortoise and hare. The first might be slow, but the other beware.
I am a tortoise. I am a hare.
You are a slowpoke.
I do not care.
You do not care that you are so slow.
I get where I want to go.
I get places really fast.
If we raced, you would come in last.
I would lose to you. I would come in last. That is just silly. I am way too fast.
But it is true.
Well, I dare you. Shall we race?
Okay with me. You choose the place.
We'll start from here, my slowpoke friend. The river bridge is where we will end.
That is fine with me, my speedy friend. When you arrive, I will be at the end.
1, 2, 3, go.
It's off I go! Just watch my speed! Oh, I must be miles into the lead!
1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4. Keep on going, not much more.
Tortoise is so slow a chap. I'll just take a little nap.
1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4. Keep on going, not much more.
Look at here. He's fast asleep. I'll slip by without a peep. Oh dear, I fear that something is wrong. I bet I slept a bit too long. Here comes Hare. He's drawing near, but I do not care since I am here. How can this be? It can't be true. I am much speedier than you.
I know you are, my silly friend, but still, I beat you in the end.
The moral of this story is to keep up the pace. Go slow and steady, and you'll win the race. Now, meet the peacock and crane. The peacock is pretty, and the crane is just plain.
I am a peacock.
I am a crane.
I am so pretty.
I am so plain.
I am so handsome. Come, look at thee. The whole world must admire me.
I am so ugly, so tall and thin. In beauty contest I never win.
I spread my tail, I prance, and I shine. There are no feathers lovelier than mine.
You are attractive, I must admit, but I do not envy you, not one bit.
You do not wish to look like me? Oh, foolish crane, how can that be?
All day long you strut around. But you were stuck here on the ground.
I am stuck? What do you mean? See my feathers, gold and green?
What good are they, those shiny things? I may be gray, but I have wings to rise and fly into the sky.
I display my feathers, bright and blue. But they don't lift me like yours do.
Farewell, fair peacock, so proud and vain. There on the ground you must remain.
So do not forget what Peacock heard. Fine feathers do not make the bird. When high flyers call your bluff, looks alone are not enough. Next is a story about the wind and the sun. The north wind is strong, but the sun gets things done.
I am the north wind. I'm cold and I'm strong. No one can beat me when I come along.
I am the sun. I am gentle and warm. I have more power than cold or storm.
Silly old sun, you're not very bright. Let's have a contest to see who is right.
Look down below at this bundled up man. Make him take off his warm coat. See if you can.
Of course I can do that. I'll brew up a storm. I'll knock off his coat. He won't be so warm.
The more that you blow and show off your might, the more the man shivers and pulls his coat tight.
Well, you go ahead and try. You think you're so hot. If I cannot do it, you surely cannot.
I will come out right now from beneath your big cloud and warm this man up. Now he's laughing out loud.
So what if he's laughing and you're so hot?
But look at
You're
him.
shining bright. So what if he's laughing and you're shining bright?
But look at him now, though I do not want to gloat. I have made him so warm, he has unbuttoned his coat.
He has taken it off. You have beaten me, son.
So I have, silly Frost. I have won.
So blow you north wind, you might make men pay, but the warmth and the sunshine will win every day. Now, listen to our story of the grasshopper and ants. The big guys play while the wee ones work. The ants are smart, but the hoppers are jerk.
Summertime, 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 summertime. It's summertime and all day long. I dance my dance and I sing my song.
It's summer and all the day. We work so hard, we never play.
Those silly, boring ants. Why should I work? I can dance. Summertime, summertime, summertime. With all these fields of corn and oats and wheat, why, there's plenty of food here for me to eat.
Well, we give you every seed we got. We stored them in our secret spot. And when winter comes and the snow and the ice,
Oh, these seeds of ours will taste so nice.
Oh no, the year is growing old.
The days are short, the nights are cold. The grain is gone, the fields are bare. I can't find dinner anywhere. What am I gonna do?
Now the summer days are past, and the winter has come at last.
How smart we were to plan ahead. The snow may come, but we'll be fed.
Oh, ants, I know you are my friends. Don't you have some seed to lend? If you will let me eat my fill, I'll pay you back. You know I will.
Well, while we worked all the day long, what did you do? You just sang your song.
And now it is winter, as you can see. So do your dance. Do not bother me.
Oh, but I'm so hungry, can't you see? What is going to become of me?
It's fun to dance and sing, but not all day.
Make time for work as well as play.
In The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the boy tells a lie. The wolf has his way, and the sheep, well, they die.
I am a boy who tends some sheep. I have a friend, her name Bo Peep.
We are some folk who live nearby.
And every day we hear the boy cry.
A wolf, a wolf. It is not true, but they come running, yes they do.
We hear him yell, "A wolf is there!" Of course, he gives us quite a scare.
A wolf, a wolf. Oh, when they arrive each with a stick, no wolf is here, it's just a trick.
We are angry at his lie.
But every time we hear him cry,
We think this time it might be true.
So we come running.
Yes,
we do.
They scold me. They say I'm bad. But it's lots of fun to make them mad.
The other day, we heard him shout, "A wolf! A wolf is here about!"
oh, we'll call his bluff. We will not bite.
We have had enough. We'll just sit tight.
A wolf! A wolf! This time it's true. I need your help, I really do.
That silly boy.
He thinks we're dumb.
But we will show him.
He will not come.
This time it's true. It's not a lie. I need you.
To teach a lesson, we did not go.
Alas, how could they know? This time there really was a beast that made my flock into a feast.
While tending sheep, he told a lie. The people he deceived. So, even if he tells the truth, he will not be believed. One more story will we tell. I hope you like it very well. It's It's about a lion. So fierce and strong. Would not have lasted very long if not for a mouse. Oh, yes. So slowly weak. What happens next? Let's take a peek.
Look at Lion, asleep in the shade. I will go tickle him. I'm not afraid.
What is that tickle I feel on my snout? Look, it is a mouse running about.
Oh, Lion, oh, King. Oh, forgive me, please do. Oh, I will do something special for you.
You help a lion? You tiny wee thing. What in the world could you do for a king?
Oh, well, if you don't eat me and let me go free, someday I'll help you. Just wait and see.
Oh, be off with you now. Get out of my sight. You are not worth eating. You're barely one bite.
Oh, thank you, dear Lion. And don't you forget, someday you'll be happy. So happy we met.
Dinner time. How hungry I feel. I must go hunting for my next meal. Too tough. Too rough.
But no meal could Lion find. He searched and searched some more. But soon, Lion sat down to unwind and soon began to snore. The people from the town soon gathered around. A trap they did set. They threw down a net.
I hear the lion. Something is wrong. I think I can help it, though I am not strong.
Help! I am caught from my tail to my snout. I'm trapped in this net and I cannot get out.
Oh, do not worry, dear lion. Never lose hope. You will soon be free because I'll chew through this rope.
You have saved me, wee mouse, from a horrible death. I'll be your protector until my last breath.
So remember, my friends, no matter how small, strength is just fine. But please recall that kindness matters most of all. We have certainly enjoyed performing for you.
Additionally, we have time for 5 questions. Is that okay with the teachers? Yes. All right. How many of you recognize, before we get started, how many of you recognize the last stories? The fables, right? You know those stories, right? They're very, very cool. Okay, now questions, please. Let's start out. Yes.
Did it take a lot of practice to do this?
Did it take a lot of practice to do this? Yes, it took a great deal of practice to do this. We practice twice a month, and then we practice right before we perform for you today. So we do practice a great deal, many, 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 many times before we present. Good question. Yes.
I like how the mouse when she or how the how the duck, she said the
Ah,
It sounded really weird because she actually made noise instead of talking like in third grade.
that's right. That's true. Good job, Duck. All right, question number 2. Yes.
All these stories, did y'all read all those books to make these things?
Yeah, we did. All right, we did. We read many, many books before we choose books to put in our catalog for your teachers to choose from. And we have been around for a while, and believe it or not, when we were your age, we were reading these stories. Some of them, yes. And we do. There's hope for you, young man. Yes, in the back. Question number 3.
Do you memorize the lines, or do you have a book?
Oh, excellent question. Do we memorize the lines or do we have books? We do both. All right, we have a script book. You probably noticed people with the stands in that first story looking down at the script. For Aesop's Fables, we try to memorize those. So there's some of each. It can be a little terrifying sometimes. Yes, sir. We did make the costumes, all right, with the exception of the wolf hat. We bought the wolf hat and we bought our grasshopper and the pants, all right? But most of the other lion, the lion, we bought them and fluffed them up. This is an old stuffed animal. You know, we just the rabbit, yeah, we did buy the rabbit here. Peacock, we made that. The person who sewed that is right here.
And the crane.
And the crane, she did the crane as well.
And the feathers are from a real peacock. Ran in front of me. Wow.
Whoa, nothing's safe.
The feathers
All
fell
right,
off
somebody
the
in the
bird.
back,
I didn't
yes.
grab off the bird.
Do you remember your favorite performance that you guys have done?
Oh, excellent question. Do we remember our favorite performance that we have done?
This one.
This one today. I do have favorite stories. How many of you remember Wombat Stew?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, my favorite story. But yes, the one we are doing. Excellent question. And we have one more question. Yes, sir. Yeah, do you have a question?
Oh yeah. How long did it took you to like how many hours did it take you, like months or days?
To prepare for the story? All right, so I can tell you a little bit about our process. Before we do a story, we have to select a book, and then it goes through scripting. We change the story a little bit. Some of you may notice that if you had read the book Duck and Gun, that we adapt it. We get permission from the author or the publisher before we do that. It takes many months for us to get a script. Then we put it into rehearsal. Our director puts his stamp on it, and we practice and practice and practice. So I would say probably 6 months minimum before we get a story from the book to here. And then we practice, practice, practice. You have been an awesome audience. Thank you so much for
I'm trying something new today. I've got my questions on my phone. Good afternoon and welcome to Book Beat. Reading books is the key to an enlightened society. You want a key light back there, right?
I'm just gonna borrow this.
I think we're about ready, aren't we, Jesse? Good. Book Beat is a show about books and book readers.
A very odd combination of topics.
We interview book club members. How are your books chosen? And film their discussions.
Trying to find happiness and love in her life.
We also provide tips for forming book clubs.
I think you just have to find a group of interested book readers.
And books that are current that might be enjoyable to read. In a society where everything is instantaneous, we're losing that sense of depth that reading can bring that other media doesn't. My name is Sue Ellen Zagrabelny.
Well, I can't guarantee Oprah, but I can guarantee Channel 20.
Look for Book Beat, Sundays at 5 p.m., repeated Monday at 1 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Channel 20. See you then. Hello and welcome to Book Beat. Our guest today is Northport Elementary School Principal Leona Durden.
Yes.
And welcome to Book Beat.
Thank you.
I understand from my friends at Story Theater that you have quite an up-and-coming school. What can you tell me about that?
Well, I am really excited about the things that are happening at our school. This past school year, we were nominated or selected to become an art integration school. And so with Story Theater coming out to participate, it aligns and ties in perfectly with our mission for our school. So yeah, we are excited about the things that are coming, that are up and coming here in Northport.
Oh, that is terrific. Did you get a chance to see the part of the performance today?
Absolutely, they were phenomenal. Yes.
It's really fun to see them perform, and I got a chance to watch them rehearse and plan their meetings.
Oh, wow.
And so that was really interesting. Tell me a little bit more about your school. What can you tell us? What kind of makeup does it have? What is the arts integration about?
Okay, yes. Well, this is my third year here at Northport as a principal, and there's a pretty diverse population of students. We have about maybe 40% students of African American descent, maybe 38% Mexican American, about 15% Hmong, and then maybe 10% Caucasian, and then we have a few Native American students here. And we are a school that was in the bottom 5%, unfortunately, of the state. It's called a priority school. But our kids made tremendous growth last year, and we were able to move out of that category.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yes, so that was, I mean, it's extremely exciting to know that the kids made some tremendous growth in reading and math as well as science. And so we were able to move up.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful. What is the arts integration program? What kind of components of in the program?
Absolutely. Well, this program is in conjunction with the U.S. Department of Education, and it's 35 schools in the United States of America that's actually participating in this initiative.
Oh, wow.
And so we're one of the ones. This past school year, it comes out of the Presidential Committee of the Arts. And so then this past year, the state of Minnesota was selected to participate in this initiative. And so 4 schools were selected, and we were one of them. And it was a rigorous process, and so I'm excited about it. So basically what the belief of the art integration, what they believe rather, is that if we're able to interweave the arts through everything that we do, that it will increase student achievement. And so we believe that visual arts, dance, theater, singing, music, movement is going to really help to motivate and engage the kids to be able to do better in school. And that's the purpose of it, yes.
Yes. Oh, that's terrific. I'm a former music teacher, so I'm very interested in hearing about the arts being dealt with across the curriculum.
Absolutely.
And that's what's needed.
Yes.
You can't get too much music in the schools.
You can't, and as you know, repetition, like if a kid is learning vocabulary, you put a beat to it and rhythm to it, they can remember it. And I remember growing up, I learned the preamble because of that every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
We're the people in order to form a more perfect union.
Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock.
And that is so important. And so conjunction, junction, what's your function? And so that's the kind of thing, those are the kind of things that we're hoping to, not hoping, we will bring back into our school. And so that's the purpose of the art, this art initiative, to integrate movement, music, visual arts, everything within the curriculum again.
Well, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Absolutely.
And we really enjoyed getting to visit your school, and I'm so pleased to feature it in a program of Book Beat.
Yes.
And we'll make sure that it will be on YouTube, so the school can see it. Absolutely. If they want to have a look at themselves.
Yes, yes.
And so I thank you so much for spending time with me. And thank you for joining us at Book Beat today. We look forward to seeing you next time. I'm Sue Ellen, and I'm from Maple Grove.
Hey, did you know as a resident of Maple Grove, you have an all-access pass to Northwest Community Television? You can produce your own show or help other residents create theirs.
I've decided to produce Book Beat because I love books, and I like learning about authors and learning about book clubs, and it's just really fun.
Ready to produce your own show? Visit nwct.org. Get your all-access pass today.
Thank you.